Hello everyone, and welcome to The Save Point. Save Point is a podcast that wants to bring Bible-based reviews on video games. We will be judging on two main criteria, the quality of the game and the content of the game. Both will be scored on a scale of 1 to 5. Today's game we are looking at is Forts. Forts is a physics-based RTS or real-time strategy game. The normal RTS would have you command troops on the ground in order to win the battle. But in Forts you have to build a fort and then destroy the enemy fort. As always, I'll just be covering the base game and none of the DLCs. Unlike many of the games I've covered so far, Forts has a story that it actually is upfront about. But it's very simple. You are the Eagle Empire, my guess is America. And there's almost no oil left on Earth, America's worst nightmare. It is said that there is one last big deposit of oil on Earth, but other countries want it. The Dragon Army, my guess is China, and the Iron Bear Alliance, my guess is Russia. Warning, the real countries I said are just guesses. It doesn't say the IRL name anywhere that I could find. The campaign is very simple. It acts more as a tutorial to how the game works than a test of your skills. You play as the Eagle Empire and fight through different parts of the world in order to secure the Mother Lode, or last deposit of oil. You will fight 3 different missions in Africa, the Middle East, and Europe respectively. The real bread and butter of forts comes in the skirmishes. In skirmishes, you are in charge of your fort and you have to build it up and destroy the enemy fort. Simple on the surface, but it's way harder than it sounds. Sometimes a fort is built up on the side of a cliff or hanging in a cave. Even when you just build on the field, you can't just keep building indefinitely. With the game being physics-based, it makes it way harder. The fort has weight, so if you build too high, it'll just crash to the ground. If you're hanging and you build too low, you'll fall off. And if you're on a cliff and build too far, well, you get the idea. Weapons are one of the most important parts of forts. And there are many different weapons that range from these teeny tiny machine guns to giant plasma lasers. The more expensive they are, the harder they hit. There are 4 main categories: the default weapons, aka machine guns, sniper rifles, the missiles like swarm missiles, ballistic missiles, and then we got the lasers, we got the plasma laser and the heat laser, and then we got the cannons. We got the 20mm cannon, and then just the straight cannon. It does not have a name other than that. Each serve a different purpose and can achieve different things. Next up is your economy. Your economy is your power and minerals. You gain power from wind turbines and the nuclear reactor. You gain minerals from mines and the nuclear reactor. You know, I just realized I haven't yet explained to you how to explain the enemy. That's my bad. In order to win, you have to destroy all of your enemy's nuclear reactors. Some maps do have more than one. You can unlock different weapons and upgrades by building different technology centers. There are 5 different centers: the workshop, the armory, the upgrade center, the factory, and the munitions plant. The upgrade center is pretty self-explanatory, while the rest unlock different weapons. I should note that the workshop and the armory need to be built before the factory and the munitions plant can be built. In forts, there are different commanders that have different abilities to accomplish different tasks. For example, there is an architect who boosts building and other construction, and there is Firebird, who just wants to see everything burn. There's also a very large Steam workshop community that makes a bunch of different maps and weapon packs. It should be noted that Forts costs $20. Forts is a fun game that encourages creativity and strategic thinking. Forts is a very unique game that is very fun to play if you enjoy a good RTS. Now on to the rating. For quality, Forts is a well-made game with no bugs that I could find. The progression in the campaign is linear and engaging. For its cons, the game is made for small maps, so if you play on a big one, you're going to need a really beefy computer. The lag is horrendous. For quality, I still give it a 5 out of 5. For content, Forts can be a very challenging game, but it makes you think with critical thinking and won't allow any faulty decision making. Trust me, I know. For cons, the main goal of the game is destroying a nuclear reactor. To do this, you kill a bunch of workers and gun operators, and so on. That brings its content rating to a 2 out of 5. That brings the overall rating to a 3.5 out of 5. On just a few extra notes, there are a few DLCs that are available for purchase in order to expand your experience. There is also a very large Steam Workshop community that makes maps and weapons you can use. I'm not going to cover any here. For my personal thoughts, Forza is a really fun game. I'm not the best, and even after 20 plus hours, but I was mostly goofing off for most of it with mods and stuff. It's a challenging RTS with a unique twist and is very engaging. Well, that about sums up this episode of The Save Point. I hope you all have enjoyed this episode and found its contents helpful. The Discord link is in the description. Thank you all for listening, and may the Lord bless you and give you peace.